here on earth. Now, but the topic that we're having today is called True Love is All True Love is All Comprehensive. Okay, true love is all comprehensive. It's total. It's comprehensive. True love is all comprehensive. That means that true love. I mean, love can understand everything. Love can survive everything. Love can go through everything. Love can survive everything. Love will remain standing when everything else has fallen and failed. Love is all penetrating. Love can go anywhere and come back alive. Love is all comprehensive, all comprehensive, all comprehensive, all comprehensive. Love is total. Love is absolute. Love is impartial. Love is understanding. Love is all comprehensive, means it is absolutely total, perfect, and and absolute. So it's a tough word to find to describe love. But I have a book that is coming. You don't remember the name of this book, right? I have a book that is coming. Who does? I kind of call that book. It's a complex name that I have. It's going to be about love. We have one that is already released on Kindle. Is The Kingdom of Love. But apart from The Kingdom of Love, there is another book that is coming in the next maybe 2 weeks. It's going to be called, let me get the name for you now. It's going to be called, Okay, it's going to be called All-Encompassing and All-Conquering Love. All-encompassing and all-conquering love. That's a tough one, right? It's a tough name. All-encompassing and all-conquering love. That's English language right there. All-encompassing and all-conquering love. Wow. All-encompassing and all-conquering love. All-encompassing, all-conquering love. All-encompassing and all-conquering love. All-encompassing, maybe without and. All-encompassing, all-conquering love. Wow, what a name. Well, the book is coming soon. You people should look out for that book. Watch out for that book. All-encompassing, all-conquering love. So those are two books that I've written that are focusing mainly on love. I've written them for some time now, but they were in Russian language. So we've translated one, and so that one is already published, The Kingdom of Love. Then this one, All-Encompassing, All-Conquering Love. And it's going to be a very, very intense book on love. All these things I'm teaching is going to also reveal love to you from another perspective. So, true love. So this is going to be very similar a little bit to what that book is about. True love is all comprehensive. 1 Corinthians 13:7 says, love bears all things. Love bears all things. And this is a perfect topic for today, the Valentine's Day, Day of Valentine or Day Valentine's Day. So love bears all things. That is, love will understand all things. Love will suffer all things. Love will endure all things. Love bear all things means that love is so powerful that love will go through everything. Love can go through anything. That means anybody that has love in his heart and everybody that knows true love will easily understand and go through any situation in life. Love will empower you to go through all things. Love will give you the energy, the power, the fortitude, the courage, the boldness, the endurance to suffer long, to go through any situation, to pass through any trial, to pass through any test, to, understand any kind of people, to survive anywhere. So love is something absolutely supernatural, absolutely unique. So love is like this topic has said, love is all comprehensive. And that comprehensiveness of love is what makes us to know God. When we get to a place of love, whereby we are able to love comprehensively, and whereby our love, the love that we have in our heart, is all encompassing like that. When we get to that place, then we have really done very well. There is a scripture that's coming to my mind that I didn't include here. Can you look for it? Paul was praying. It's either in Colossians or Philippians or Ephesians. Paul was praying that God will give you the spirit of understanding to understand the love of Christ, which is the length of it, the breadth of it, to know the love of Christ, which is deep in length and height and deep and all that. So I need us to get that. And there are two places where I spoke about praying for us to understand the comprehensiveness, the totality, the complexity of the love of Christ. And he's saying that God will open the eyes of our understanding, that we will know the depth of that love, the height of that love, the breadth of that love, the complexity of that love. So if you look for depth, breadth of love, you will see love, depth, breadth, or wide. I think it's Ephesians chapter 1 or chapter 3. It should be there. Is it chapter 3? Yeah, please get it open. We have to open it. So true love there are two places you are supposed to see. One is supposed to be in Ephesians, so one is supposed to be in Colossians or Thessalonians. There are two kind of places where it's talking about love like that. So true love is all comprehensive. And that means by the time we get to know the comprehensiveness of the love of God, what we will discover is that comprehensiveness of the love of God brings us to the place of the knowledge of God. Because that is exactly how the love of God is. The love of God is very comprehensive. The love of God is very all-inclusive. The love of God is all-encompassing. The love of God is total. And this is the love of God that conquers all things as well. I think they are saying Ephesians 3:18, but it's supposed to be more than just 18. Yeah. But then let's find that one, then look for another one as well. They are supposed to be about two places like that. So the love of God is so many faceted. The love of God is so many faceted that this kind of love is the love that can never be defeated. This kind of love is the love that can never, lose. This kind of love is the love that can never hate. This kind of love is the love that can never, do evil. This is the kind of love that will always forgive. This is the kind of love that conquers all things. This is the kind of love that, is just, unexplainable. It's absolutely unexplainable. So this is where God is taking us. And I remember that I think we should look for this. We should include this video again, where somebody, I think there are two. I think we could include it too. Where somebody was holding a gun, and the lady came to actually, confront the gunman and use the gun. I think the name is something tough. And made the gun shooter in the school to drop that gun. So that is the kind of law we're talking about. And there's a similar story like that too that you had when somebody came to the house with a gun. There was a time that we had it. But this is a very unique topic today. It's talking about love. True love is all comprehensive. So this is the all comprehensiveness of love that I'm talking about today. So in 1 Corinthians 13:7, it says, this kind of love bears all things. This is the kind of love that you want to dream of. This is the kind of love that we are all dreaming about. This is the kind of love that we are all hoping to have. This is the height of love that we should all be dreaming of getting to. The kind of love that will bear all things. Now, can you imagine what it means to bear all things? Yesterday, we watched a video whereby somebody sent back his adopted son to the parents or to the country. Why? Because the kind of love that she had couldn't bear all things. But the kind of love that Jesus had and the kind of love that Jesus is encouraging us to have is the kind of love that bears all things. Now, this kind of love is not the first level of love. You know, if you study the gospel of Jesus and the teachings of Jesus, you will see that there are 3 levels of love that Jesus is talking about. And I've mentioned this many times. Let me repeat it again. The first level of love that Jesus was talking about is to love your neighbor as yourself. So you love your neighbor as yourself. That is the lowest kind of love. Now, that level of love, if you want to love your neighbor as yourself, it's not this level. You have not gotten to this level. So this level is much more higher than that level of love your neighbor as yourself. Now, what does it mean to love your neighbor as yourself to an ordinary person? To love your neighbor as yourself means, okay, I love myself first, and as I love myself, I use it as a parameter, as the standard of how to know to love you. So I love you to the degree I love myself. And that is the kind of love that people are teaching these days, especially the motivational speakers. Even some pastors are teaching this kind of love. That if you don't love yourself, you cannot love another person. But that's not the Christ kind of love. That's not the highest kind of love that Jesus taught us. Because the highest kind of love that Jesus taught us is that we should love people just because they bear the image and carry the image and likeness of God. We should love people just because God created them. We should love people nevertheless. Either we love ourselves or we don't love ourselves, we should still love other people. So you are not using yourself as the standard of love, but you are using Christ as the standard of love. You are using God as the standard of love. That is the highest level. That's the highest place of love. So I don't buy into that love. I'm not putting myself, my dream is not to love people as I love myself. No, that's the highest one. I mean, that's the lowest kind of love. That if you want to love others just like you love, as you love yourself, then you cannot love like this. You have not gotten to this level of love. Because this level of love is the love that bears all things. That means even when you cannot love yourself, you are still loving others. Even when you don't feel like loving yourself, you are still loving others. Even when you don't feel like loving others, even when you don't feel they qualify or they deserve you are still loving them. Even when you hate yourself or you hate your own life, you are still doing good to other people. That's the kind of love that we are talking about. And so the first level of love, which is the minimum level of love, is when you love others as yourself. You are using yourself as the parameter. Even though that's not even what Jesus meant, that love others as yourself. What Jesus meant in that is that just like you would not wish to do yourself any evil, so love others in such a way that whatever you wish that others will do to you, you do to them. Love others in such a way that you will not wish them any evil. That is basically what it means. But that is still the lowest level of love. The second level of love, which is a little bit higher than that other level of love, is loving your enemy. That means loving somebody who hates you. Loving somebody who wishes you evil. Loving somebody who wants to harm you and hurt you. Loving somebody who doesn't deserve it at all. Loving somebody who wants to take your life. So that is the second level of love. And that is even not the highest level of love. It's just the second level of love. Now, that level of love can already deal with this. That second level of love can already deal with this. But there is a third level of love which is even higher than the loving your neighbor. I mean, not loving your enemy. The third level of love is preferring, honoring others above yourself. So you don't just love your enemy, but you prefer him to yourself. You honor him above yourself, even though it's your enemy. That is now the third highest level of love. But from the second level of love, can already qualify to be here. But the first level of love might not be able to qualify to be able to live according to this injunction in 1 Corinthians 13:17. 1 Corinthians 13:17 says, love bears all things. The kind of love that will bear all things is the kind of love that is all comprehensive. The kind of love that will bear all things is the kind of love that starts from the second level of love, which is loving your enemy. The kind of love that is able to love enemies. The kind of love that is not just able to love enemies, but the kind of love that is able to do good to your enemies. Then, or the third level of love, which is the kind of love that is not just loving enemies, but and doing good to them, but the kind of love that will prefer the enemy to himself, that will honor the enemy above himself, that will, that will prefer, that will put preference on others above himself. That is the highest level of love. So these two, the two highest levels of love can deal with this. So, but that's the love we're talking about today. Love that is comprehensive, love that covers sins, love that covers multitude of sins. The level of loving your neighbor the level of loving your neighbor as yourself cannot cover sins at all, cannot even cover multitude of sins. But the second and third level of love will cover sins and will cover evil that is done against it, and will cover evil multitude of sins. So when we are talking about love today, we are talking about love that is comprehensive. We are talking about love that is total. We are talking about love that is part and parcel of your life. Let me tell you a story about how I inculcated into my system this kind of love. When I was in the university,